Okay, so this one is the last question in this transformation series questions. So if you're able to do all the questions shown previously, I think you are well prepared to tackle your question for your exam. If you understand every single step, obviously, you should not have any problem to do these kind of questions for your exam. So let's move on to this last question. So here again, we have three triangles, A, B, and C, as we can see. Now, part one, describe fully the single transformation that maps A onto B. So to get A onto B, we have a few choices. As we have seen, we have translation, we have rotation, we have, let's see, what do we have else? We have reflection, and we have enlargement. Now, we haven't seen anything about translation, but this one is the easiest. It means shifting. So the size and the shape does not change. We are just sliding the shape up, left, or down. So if you don't see any kind of change in shape, it is just moving in the same direction. The shape is in the same orientation. It means it will have to be a translation. But this one is very easy. I trust you can know this on your own. Now here, rotation, as you can see, this one we don't know yet. Enlargement, no, because it is same in size, doesn't seem to be an enlargement. So now we can check for reflection. This one seems pretty obvious. Again, it should be a reflection. If you just do that this way, right, you can see this can be reflected onto this one. Now to find the line of reflection, we just have to take two corresponding points. So this point became this point, so we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the distance between them. Now the line of reflection have to lie exactly between. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we count 1, 2, 3. Will be right here. So if you were to draw your line, this will be the line of reflection. Okay. And this line is what? This line is y equal to minus 1. So let's write this down. This is what? This is a reflection in the line y equal to minus 1. So this one is your first mark, and this one is your second mark. 2 marks, good to go. Now for part B, we have triangle A is mapped onto triangle C by a single transformation H. So we have to see what is transformation H. So let's see. A has been moved to C. So what can we do to help us is that let's join this and this, right? This is the point. It became this point, right? So we understand that this point became this point. So these two are corresponding points. So by observation, you can see that if you were to measure this angle, right, by observation, it will be what? It will be 90 degrees. So in math D, we have only a few options. If you were to ask to find the matrix for a rotation, so we have only a few options, which means we can find matrix for minus 90. Sorry, this is anti-clockwise 90, clockwise, or 180. So they will only ask you matrix for these three angles, either way. So as you can see right here, it obviously has to be minus 90, which is anti-clockwise 90, because that is one of the options for which they can ask you. Right. Now, how would you find the matrix? So as we have seen before, we use the same method as always, which is by drawing the axis. That's the first point we'll look at, which is 1, 0. And that is the other one. This is 0, 1. But of course, we have to do those one as well, which is 0, minus 1. And then here we have minus 1, 0. Now, to rotate anti-clockwise, we begin with this, right? Always. This point will become this point, which is 0, 1. And then this point will become this point, which is minus 1, 0. So by using that and by using your diagram, you can realize this one is a anti-clockwise 90. And then by using this, you realize this is the matrix for my transformation H. Now let's move on to part C of the question. Transformation M is a reflection in the line of x equal to 2. Okay, so what can we do now is we can first draw this line. So this is my reflection of x equal to 2. So draw this and you can label this as x equal to 2. Now, we have a transformation R is a rotation 180 about 0, 0. Okay, so let's say we want to find the matrix of that rotation. How would you do? Same steps, beginning with this one, 180 rotation. So this will become this, minus 1, 0. And this will become this, 0, minus 1. So that's the matrix representing this rotation. But either way, let's move on to the question. Now we have a triangle A is mapped onto triangle D such that RMA is D. So now, we have to understand what's happening. The order is very important. Let me write this again. Here we have the object, A, right? As you can see, the closest to A is what? The closest to A is M. So it means that we have to apply M first on A. So let's do that. Now what is M? M is a reflection in the line x equal to 2. So let's use the graph to make it easier for us. So this is the line reflection. This will become 1, 1 become here. 1, 2, 1, 2 become here. And we have 1, 2, 1, 2 become here. So this is my triangle after my reflection in the line x equal to 2. Now let's call this the triangle G. I mean, of course you don't need to. That's just to help you right now. So what is the points of G? The points of G is 1, 2, 0, 2, and then 0, 5. That's the points of G. Now, we know this has become the triangle G, right? So right now what do we have? We have G applied to, so all applied to G will give you D. So we have to do this one finally to find my triangle D. Now, this one is a rotation 180 about O. Since it is already about O, we can use the matrix times object is equal to image if you want to. That can definitely confirm the answer for you. You can be confident after doing this kind of matrix multiplication. So let's try this first. Matrix, as we have seen, it is this one, minus 1, 0, 0, minus 1. Object is G. G we have seen here that it is 1, 2, 0, 2, and 0, 5, right? That will give you, so minus 1, that will be 0, 0. And here we have minus 2, minus 2, minus 5. So this will be your triangle D. Let's draw this on the diagram. So minus 1, 2. So minus 1, minus 2, sorry. Minus 1, minus 2 will be here. And then we have 0, minus 2. That should be here. And then we have, so 0, minus 2, and then 0, minus 5. That should be right here. So joining these points, you can see that we will have the triangle of D. So that is one way of doing that, obviously. But other way is you can just do by observation. If this is my center of rotation, if we have to rotate 180, so this point has to go 180, that will be this, right? So 1, 2 has to become 1, 2. So same thing for this one. It was 5, so it has to become 5. So 1, 2, 5 will be right here. And this point, the logic here is that we have to look at this, or we can just do this in this way. Let's join those two together by forming a straight line. So if you count here, we have 1, 1, 2. Yeah, so it has to be 180. So it has to be exactly 180. That'll be 1, 1, 2. So as you can see, this confirms that the triangle D has to be right here. But my preference is always to use matrix, so I can be confident that my answer is is what it needs to be. So I'm sure that I will get my marks. So I hope this series was helpful in preparing for your exams of Math D. As explained before, if you can do all of these questions, understand all the step by step, and how to find the matrix or how to describe your transformation, you should be all good for your chapter of transformation in your exam. With that being said, thank you for watching. I will see you soon.